courtship behaviour. What is the role of courtship in securing successful mating? How does courtship help members of a species distinguish each other? So, the same species have more similar courtship behaviours, and similarities and differences between physical and chemicals help distinguish their own species from another species. The behaviour of members of the same species are more alike. Individuals recognise their own species by the way they act, and most behaviour is genetically determined and influences the chances of survival. Courtship and mating is essential to the survival of a species. Why is courtship behaviour necessary? The ultimate aim of a species is to survive and pass on its genes. And females are only receptive at certain times. So courtship behaviour enables individuals to recognise their own species. So mating only occurs between the same species to produce fertile offspring. Identify a mate that is able to breed. Both partners must be sexually mature, fertile and receptive. Form a pair bond, which leads to successful mating and raising of the offspring. Synchronized mating takes place when the maximum probability of sperm and eggs meeting would occur. So female undergoes a cycle of sexual activity when they can conceive during a short time. Only receptive to mating for the time when they are producing eggs. So courtship behaviour is used by males to determine whether the female is at a receptive stage. If she responds with the appropriate response, the courtship will continue and results in production of offspring. If she is not receptive, she exhibits different pattern of behaviour and the male stops courting her. In courtship, animals use signals to communicate with the mate. The male carries out an action, a stimulus to the female. She then responds with her own action, a stimulus to the male, and then the male carries out another action. And this ritual carries on in a stimulus-response chain. So both individuals recognise that their partner is the same species and they may be prepared to mate. The longer the courtship sequence continues, the more likely the mating will result. If at any point one of them fails to respond appropriately, the courtship sequence ends. So as an example, in Mallard ducks, the courtship display of male mallard ducks has 10 display elements. There are shaking the tail, flicking the head, alternatively raising the head and tail, shaking the bill and nodding the head while swimming. One display is called a grunt whistle, which involves lifting the breast out of the water while arching the head down, followed by a sharp whistle and a deep grunt. These elaborate displays are found in closely related duck species. However, in some species, certain elements are absent, while in the other order each element is performed is different. So this is just an example of the courtship behaviour of the mallard, well actually a different type of duck, but it includes the tail shake, the head flick, tail shake again, a down up movement, a grunt whistle, a tail shake, a head flick, head up, tail up, turn down the female, turning back of head. So that is the ritual of those ducks. So some other examples of courtship behaviours are the superb bird of paradise, which you might have seen on planet Earth. So they have an elaborate display or courtship dance. Here's some mating seagulls. And sticklebacks, actually the male is the one that makes the nest. The female will go through and lay the eggs, and then the male will go through and lay the sperm on top of it, and then the female abandons the male, and the male actually raises the offspring and also fans its tail to provide more oxygen to the growing eggs. So there's some examples of some courtship behaviours.